explain this deal, because initially everyone's saying E.ON is going to buy Innogy, and E.ON seems to be giving out the most money, but really Innogy has these power production methods that are going to be absorbed by RWE. So what is it really?
Yes, I mean, it seems like at the base of it, these two companies are getting together to create like this German energy champion, which is now then going to be much stronger against other European rivals, right? Whether that's an Enel from Italy, or we were hearing stuff about Engie from France having possibly bid for them. And so you're seeing like a domestic solution. And if you remember Innogy, I mean, they lost their CEO in December. They've had an interim CEO. Their CFO, sadly was part of an acid attack. I mean, so they've not had top management. They've been seen as an attractive asset. I mean, they were listed only in October 2016. And both of these companies, both RWE and E.ON, if you remember, they listed their assets. E.ON just sold off its remaining stake in Uniper to a Finnish company. So there's a lot of deal-making going on in the sector, but investors seem to be thinking that this is good because this strengthens a strong German name, to go out into the market and compete further.
Edward, what about the... Good morning, first of all.
Good morning.
Very nice to see you. It's interesting. My interest in this deal is really that it's an inter-German deal. That this is a kind of national champion creating deal, despite the fact that there was a lot of talk about the potential for foreign bidders to come in and make an acquisition in Germany. What does that tell us about M&A at the moment? Is it going to become more domestic? Is it going to become more nationalistic in terms of the terms that are being applied to some of these deals?
I think that, well, the energy sector is very active.
Strategic.
Very strategic, very active in M&A. It's a sector where scale is very important. It's also, as was mentioned by Ruth and Matt, it's a sector where it's complicated regulation. Yep. So inorganic growth is often more difficult in that sector. I think in terms of national champions, I think that companies will look at what is strategic for them, and they will, it's an interesting deal in the sense that it's the companies coming together, but then strategically aligning along particular areas, with E.ON along the grid and retail delivery, and then RWE and Innogy along the renewables line, which, will create value, and I think that will be the strategic imperative behind it for the two companies. In terms of national champions, I mean, I think generally mega deal doing, you need to look at it in the context of the regulatory environments that you're operating in. There is, across the world generally, countries are looking at national security, national interests, but I'm not sure it's the main imperative for deals, but I do think in terms of executing deals, it's something that people will look carefully at and have to forerun those sort of issues.